Okay, I wanted to do a video about, this will be a series of videos, and when I get around to it, I don't know how good I'm going to be about getting around to it, but I want to talk about, I want to try to help people that are just beginning to meditate, and I want to help you to see a variety of experiences that you might have as you begin and as you get into meditating. I guess the light is better here. So there are many different things that will happen as you meditate and as you get further into it. One of the first things that will happen is that you're going to experience frustration because you're sitting there attempting to focus on breath or whatever it is that's your object of your meditation. Probably it will be breath, right? You can't help but to feel frustrated because you're trying to make progress, and you realize that the only way to make progress is to be able to refocus your mind, on the breath at your nostrils or wherever you choose to focus on it. When I first started to sit, I also experienced frustration, a little bit though, because as I've said before, my main purpose for sitting, for meditating at all, was just to gain some relaxation, But, as an American overachiever, I guess you could say, before I started to meditate, I wanted to do it right. I wanted to do it fast. I wanted to be the best, I wanted to get it done, and reach these states of relaxation and happiness, and bring a little joy to my life or something, right? So you kind of go at it with that mindset, which is not really conducive to getting anywhere at all. So what happens is you will get frustrated, and you will maybe you will talk yourself out of it, talk yourself out of meditation because you think maybe it's not for you, maybe you don't have time, maybe you're not good at it, maybe you're not doing it right, something like that. And probably the idea that you're not doing it right is pretty big, because most everybody has a teacher, somebody to guide them and to lead them through meditation. And and you might not really understand what your teacher is saying, Teacher's telling you to do something, but you can't really make that make sense in your mind, because meditation is, you often don't know that you're doing it the right way, My entire meditation, I had no idea whether I was doing it the right way, because I didn't follow anybody really, there was nobody to follow, there was no teacher, there was no book to tell me what to do. I had just pulled what I wanted from a book, a couple books, and was following a very basic, like a physical meditation. And so I didn't have anybody to ask, and many times I felt lost, I was a little frustrated, but I figured I had to be doing it right. I'm just sitting there looking at my breath in my nose. Eventually I just got to a point where I said, it's got to be right, and I just kept doing it, and apparently it was right. So that's one of the things that you're going to confront, is frustration, because of all those things I mentioned. That frustration can go on, indefinitely. It can go on for 20 years or so, and if you're trying hard to get somewhere, you're going to experience that. And that's not ideal. That's not the way to really do it. And I guess I'll tell you how maybe I think that meditation should be approached. So to lessen frustration, to lessen grasping at a goal or shooting for a goal, trying to accomplish something during meditation, the way I started was just to focus on the breath and hope that I was going to gain some relaxation from it. I was going to relax a little bit. I was stressed from work, and the whole idea was, and I was already exercising and things like that, but still I thought, there's something more, you know, I'm missing something. I'm not as relaxed as I should be. I'm not as relaxed as some of the people I see, you know, Zen masters or, you know, Yogi Kudu or somebody like that, twisting himself up into a pretzel so he can fit in a box. I'm not there yet, you know. I thought there was something else. So I approached meditation as a relaxation. So every time that I sat down and did it, that was a positive. I was doing it. that was the right way, you know, because I was sitting, I was relaxing, I wasn't saying anything. My mind was slowing down gradually, you know. It was crazy at first, like everybody's, I think. But eventually I reached a point where I really did start to get some benefit from it. My mind did start to slow down a little bit. But initially, I would hope that more people, that you, if you watch this, that you would go at meditation as that you're, with the idea that you're winning already, you know. If you're sitting there already, you're winning, you're doing it, you know. And I say that in my book, Meditation for Beginners, a 22-day course. That's really, I think it's a, I don't know if it's the key, it's a big key to progressing through meditation. It's a big key towards helping yourself continue it, because I think the biggest thing is that people stop. You know, people are trying to get somewhere, they're trying to become enlightened. After a year of trying, you know, many people, I would say 80-90% probably quit after that. Probably within 3-5 years, probably everybody quits, you know, unless you just like to sit there and enjoy it, you know, for what it is, which is relaxation. And then if you're doing that, I think you're going to go somewhere. You're gonna actually progress through the levels and things. So yeah, don't be shooting for something other than relaxation, and then you're going to find the experience to be much more repeatable. You're going to find that you enjoy it more. You're actually going to find benefit because you're relaxed and less stressed, you know. I think that was a big key for me, trying to be less stressed. Okay, so I don't have any of this written down. I'm just going off the top of my head here. So I'm not sure what all I want to cover in this video, what all I want to leave for another video. But I'm already, I can't tell how far I'm into this. A couple minutes, 5 minutes or so. I guess I'll cover some of the basics though. So some other experiences that you'll have as you start to meditate are going to be, so frustration in your mind. You're going to have other experiences like you're too hot, you're too cold, you're too anxious, you know, anxiety ridden, you're too frustrated, you're too unhappy, you could be doing something else, you know, other than this. You have it in your mind. You might be ticklish, you know, there might be like sweat running down your back, and you might feel a tickle, and it might be like just crazy, it's driving you nuts that you have to scratch it. There might be flies landing on your nose, you know, whatever it is. There might be too much saliva in your mouth, which was always my problem because I eat a lot of breads and crackers, and my saliva is always going, it seems like. But you might have all of these problems, or none of them, or some of them, and that's normal. You're gonna face that. And some days it's a good day to meditate, and sometimes it might not be. I have sat down for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I usually try to stay at least 10 minutes and see what's going to happen. But if after 10 minutes, you know, my mind is very anxious and I feel like I need to get something done, I just go do it. There's times when you cannot settle down. There's times when you have pressing needs or concerns that are going to take priority over your meditation, and you just have to go do them and get them done. You know, not every day is the perfect day to meditate, but it might be the perfect day to try. Okay, so sit there for 5-10 minutes and see what happens. Even as I meditated after 6-8 months, and some days I sat down and I was ready, and some days I was not. So it's not, and I had already reached a state where my mind was pretty calm overall, but still, you know, you have days that are off, and you just go do whatever you have to do. So that's another thing. Some teachers will tell you, you know, you must sit every day for this amount of time, and if you don't, you're not doing it right, you know, you're not going to get anywhere. And I'm going to tell you now that that's completely wrong. I just saw a bird fly under my air conditioner outside. That's completely wrong. You need not meditate for more than, say, 20 minutes a day. That's all. You need not meditate every single day. You need not meditate for 6 years, 10 years, 20 years, or 40 years, as some of the monks here. There's no musts, really. Again, use meditation as a way to relax. If you can't relax that day, there's no sense sitting there, so go do what you have to do. There's no need to sit in meditation for longer than, I would say not longer than 40 minutes, maybe, total. An hour? If you're in jhana, maybe an hour, 2 hours at the most. But to sit there for 12 hours and think that you're going to help yourself get to somewhere, I don't see that. You know, I didn't have to do that. I didn't do it, so I don't know. Maybe some people need that. I don't think so. I couldn't imagine that anyway. If you just focus on your breath and do what you're supposed to do for the 20 minutes or the 40 minutes, whatever you do, you don't need to sit any longer. You know, jhana can come in 5 minutes. You can go through the levels of jhana in an hour, 2 hours. It's not, doesn't require a long time, doesn't require fasting or anything like that. I think I gotta turn on this air conditioner. I'm so hot. This fan is gonna mess up my audio, I'm sure. So is the air, but maybe if I can stand where that air is gonna hit me. Okay, so hopefully that's not too bad on the audio. So I guess this first video, I'm going to cut it short now, I guess. What I really want to say is that you're going to experience many things. Some of them are going to be negative. Everybody, I think, experiences these things. I sure did. And there shouldn't be any musts on you. You shouldn't, there shouldn't be any rules on you, like you must do it this way, you must do that way. Because basically I meditated with very few rules. Sitting there for a certain amount of time, you know, 2 hours or something, was never one of my rules. Even, I never told myself I would ever sit longer than 20 minutes. Occasionally I did. I sat for as long as 2 hours. Maybe a couple times, you know, in a year I sat for longer than that, but not, it was only because I was in jhana already, and I kind of lost track of time, I guess. You might have tickles, you know, you might have bugs landing on you, whatever it is, and you might not be able to stand it anymore. It's better just to tickle, just to scratch rather, than to sit there and ruminate over it, you know, make more thought about this thing. You might have back pain, you might have ankle pain, foot pain from sitting, you know, in a certain way. All of that you can look at for a while, you know, at first, when you're first starting to meditate. Look at it a little while and try to learn about it, you know, learn about pain in your foot, learn about the mosquito landing on your nose, learn about sweat running down the side of your face and tickling you, and why you have this urge to do something about it. Just feel it and let it go down and see if you can do that. Really, meditation is learning about everything, you know, it's learning about all of your senses, all of everything that you're experiencing, that your mind is making thought about. So it's helpful to watch these things, to watch pain, to watch discomfort, to watch what it does to your mind, because you'll create thoughts about these things, and you'll create urgency inside yourself, and you'll create maybe your breath will go faster, maybe you'll create anxiety inside yourself. But it's all nice to watch and see what happens, because meditation is really a learning experience. You're learning about the breath, you're learning about your mind, you're learning about the body and how the mind interacts with the body. And okay, I guess I'll stop here. So that's the first video. The second and subsequent videos will focus more on, I think I'm just going to focus on the kind of strange experiences of meditation, so that people can know that if they're experiencing it, they're not doing something wrong, and they're not doing something bad for them or harmful to themselves. It's there's a lot of strange stuff that goes on, and it's normal apparently, because I went through it and I'm okay. And but I just want to share many things, 8 or 10 things I think that that maybe you should know about, and you should be able to experience it and then not have any fear about it, or because some of them are scary. Alright, I'll leave it at that. Anyway, that's the first video, and I hope you got something out of it. Alright, cheers.